Hey guys, welcome back here to today's episode of Intuitive Angling, and appreciate you guys joining me for today's video. Just a beautiful day here in Southwest Missouri, man. It's probably 65 degrees, not much wind at all, nice afternoon, and a really good environment for me to do the video today, the topic. I want to talk, guys, today. There's something in fishing I want to share with you guys. There is one thing in bass fishing that a lot of anglers hope they can do and hope they can figure out, but I can assure you guys, once you do this, if you figure this out and once you accomplish this, it's going to run fishing for you. It's going to take away everything that is special about fishing. I want to get into that in today's video and try to steer you away from this before it's too late. So got some good advice for you to share with you guys in today's episode here. Also, guys, got a few housekeeping tips here I just wanted to go over before we get started. You guys may have heard me talking about it, but we've got a limited color run on my Blaukat Throwback jig, guys. Got the black with the blue tinsel here. This is my favorite jig color, but we don't have this particular color in Tackle Warehouse because they're so hard and labor intensive, but you can get them for a limited time at the Cumberland Pro Lures website. So I'll put that link in the description. And we try to run a special on these about once every 2 or 3 months, and they sell out real quick. So if you guys want to try one of my black with blue tinsel throwback jigs, again, the link for my Cumberland Pro Lures link will be in the description of the video. And also, guys, for my other jigs, you still can get them at Tackle Warehouse. And by the way, Tackle Warehouse has got a huge spring fishing sale going on right now. If you guys are wanting to get stocked up for this spring, I'll have my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of the video. Using that link, guys, a great way to support intuitive angling, and thank you very much for everybody that's been doing that. I get messages all the time about guys saying, hey, I used your link, so thank you very much for me and my family. We appreciate that, guys. Okay, there's one thing in fishing this is one thing that I'm never going to stop talking about because it's being threatened as we speak in fishing, and the thrill of bass fishing. It's like when you think about the power points of bass fishing, what's really important with it as a recreational sporting activity. We're not talking about a survival fishing situation where you're fishing to actually, survive, to live. We're talking about the sport of bass fishing, recreational sporting bass fishing. The fundamental foundational element of it that gives it the uniqueness of it and makes it the greatest sport in the world is the fact that you have this element of unknown and you have this element of discovery that goes with that. And this element of the unknown and discovering things in bass fishing is what is powerful about it. And when you take the unknown, when you eliminate that mystery and the things that you're not sure about, and when you go out on the water and you don't know if you're going to catch them or not, you don't know what's out there, and then the whole thing about when you go through the process of fishing and you figure something out and you discover the bait that they want, you discover the area that they're in. Guys, there is nothing more powerful than that, especially like the discovery part of it. Here's what I'm talking about. Let's say, for example, you go out and you're fishing and you're trying some different stuff and nothing's really working and your mind's clicking a little bit. Maybe I should try this, maybe I should try that, maybe I should go over on that bank over there, maybe I should try that point. And you do all this stuff and maybe nothing's really working, but then all of a sudden you make another change. You put on a different color lure, or you make a run down the lake for a couple miles and boom, you start catching them. You have discovered something, and that discovery, there's a power behind that discovery that is priceless in bass fishing. And that discovery also is completely tied and closely knit to the unknown and that mysterious and that magical aspect about bass fishing. That is what is the principle of bass fishing. Is you have this like, it's sort of like a motto that every bass fisherman should have on your boat. It should say, you have to fish to find the fish. And by fishing to find the fish, that is when those two elements are incorporated, that element of the unknown and the element of the discovery that goes with that. And that is what makes fishing powerful. Now, the problem that you've had today, and this is what you guys have heard me talk about for the last 3 years, is the advancement of electronic technology is robbing us of that. It's robbing us of the unknown, and it's robbing us of the discovery. Because fishing at its basic pure level, let's say, for example, we pull up, you see a nice looking main lake point. Say it's a beautiful looking, gradual, rocky looking point on there. When you roll in there without the aid of, the cheater box or any type of 360 or side imaging or any advanced technology, when you roll in there with just basic, two-dimensional sonar or whatever, you don't know what's there. I mean, yeah, you might graph over the point and see some bait fish or something like that, but basically you have no clue what's on that point. You don't know if there's some fish tucked down on the bottom under rocks. You can't maybe see them that good if there's some fish suspended out there. They could be up in 2 foot of water, or they could be in 60 foot of water, depending upon the water clarity. But you don't know until you fish it. You have to go through the process of actually fishing to find that area. And when you do that, and when you pull up on an area and you pull up on this point and you don't catch one, so, oh, well, I'll just keep hunting. And then you go to the next 2 or 3 points, and then finally the 3rd or 4th point, you pull up on it, boom, you start catching them, boom, 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 you start catching them. That is what I'm talking about as far as the discovery and the unknown. But when you pull up on that first point, let's say, for example, we'll go back to the first point, you pull up there with your forward-facing sonar, and you scan your LV3 or whatever, the 34 transducer, on the cheater box, and you scan that area out there, and you don't see anything, you just move on to the next point. You don't even make a cast with it. So effectively, you have completely taken away the mystery and the magic just by using that technology, because you know what is not there. You've been able to scan it. You can see everything in the water column, and there's no fish to be caught on that particular area. So you move on to the next one until you see one on your screen there. That is not discovery, and that is not any type of like fishing to find the fish whatsoever. Now, this is what I'm trying to get people to understand, because there's some people that their minds can't wrap around that concept that I just ran past you about the importance of this unknown and how that is fair chase in fishing. It's the same thing, and I use this analogy a lot, guys. It's like most people, the average person, let's say, for example, you got this beautiful 500-year-old oak tree in your front yard. It's been there since the Native Americans were still napping arrowheads under this oak tree, 400 or 500 years ago, and for whatever reason, you got it in your front yard. Okay, all of a sudden, here comes this logger, comes up there, he sees this 500-year-old oak tree, and he goes up to the front door and knocks on the door, and he goes, "Hey, you want to sell that big oak tree out there? And, I'll give you $5,000 for that oak tree." And then somebody says, "Yeah, I'll sell it." And then he gets back in his truck and he goes, "Man, I just got $5,000. We're going to cut that big son of a bitch down." He cuts this 500-year-old oak tree down, puts it on a big flatbed, and hauls it away. Now, the average person would be mortified and horrified and disgusted and pissed off and angry at the fact that some dude just cut down a 500-year-old oak tree that was here when the Native Americans were here 500 years ago. But some people can't comprehend that outrage. They look at that tree as a coffee table for some, old woman over in Europe or something that's going to make a big coffee table out of it. That's what I'm talking about, that some people can't comprehend when I talk about the aesthetics of bass fishing. And they look at it and it's like, oh, whatever, Randy, stupid libtard, talking about aesthetics of bass fishing. I just want to go out and jack some jaws. This is the sophomoric attitude that some bass anglers have that we have got to transcend. We have got to form a respect for the sport. And the respect comes for the tradition and the heritage of the sport in terms of you fish to find the fish, you respect the fish, you honor the fish, you pursue the fish through the element of fair chase. And when you have got $50,000 worth of electronic technology on your boat, scanning live scope transducers everywhere, that is not fair chase. That is an illegitimate, illegal, cheating way to fish, in my opinion. It's a legalized cheating, but nevertheless, it's not fair chase. There's not a single sport out there that would allow that technology. You guys ever see the movie Caddyshack before? Well, Caddyshack was about this, it was a super funny movie back in the early 80s about this country club out there and all the people that were playing golf, Bill Murray on the country club. But anyway, Rodney Dangerfield had this laser-guided putter. So he got up on the green there, and he's got this high-tech laser-guided putter that allowed him to make the putt every time. that is what I'm talking about. It's like that laser guided putter removes the mystery and the magic and the unknown and the art form of golf, and it degrades it to something that is just a bunch of bullshit. That's what we have seen with forward facing sonar, and that's what we're going to see with the improvements that are coming up with forward facing sonar and the advancements into the AI technology and all the crap that's coming with that. So the point of it, guys, this is just another anti-forward facing sonar. Resist it, try to undermine it at every turn, try to encourage or, get people away from it, because it does nothing to serve them. It doesn't do anything to serve the sport. It's an insult to the bass. It's an insult to the sport. It's an insult to all the bass anglers that come before it. And I just feel bad about the people, and I feel sorry for them who have gotten sucked into that, because it's just like, it's the worst, man. That's all you can say. I mean, if you know, you know. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think about it. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll talk later.